It's a back spot. Boy, he attacked that pretty good.
Barry O'Driscoll, our referee, making the call.
10-yard penalty.
We'll back them up 10. SHP 8-0, Burlingame 8-0 on the year. The one section title for Burlingame go back to 2004, that great win at San Jose City College with Drew Schiller executing the hook and lateral to pull out the victory in the closing seconds. The football highlight for this program.
And for him, I know he remembers it well.
Former basketball star who played at USF and Stanford. Up the middle. Mahoney again.
Mahoney, the ball carrier.
Mahoney's a load. I mean, he looks a lot bigger than his 5'11", 185 frame when he's running, coming at you.
Had a great back in Andrew Segre last year, ran for over 1,500 yards. Big shoes to fill this year. 2nd and 17. Randall to put it up. In some trouble. Pirouettes and spins. Burrows by sideline and incomplete.
Just like we talked about at the top of the broadcast, Dave, there's an example of Randall making really just a good decision. Trying to keep something alive, but saying, I'm not going to throw it where anybody else can get it, and finally just threw it away. That's indicative of teams that win or are successful or undefeated, and that's just a great example of that. Throw it away, lived for another play.
Lavarado calls him Mr. Cool. James Dean was the comparison.
Right, which, you know, Google that if you don't know James Dean, but I always think like a James Franco. He's just kind of cool and kind of has that approach. Nothing ruffles him, and that's what you need as a quarterback. Nothing can ruffle you. You got to have short-term memory, whether you have success on the play or a bad play. You just got to forget about it, go on to the next play.
One of the smartest kids on campus. Randall completing 67% of his passes going into play tonight. 3rd and long. Stick with the run, Mahoney. Ball comes loose, but blown dead.
The runner is ruled down.
Pounced on by the Panthers. That was Kennedy diving on it. Sets up 4th down for SHP.
You know, that's not a bad call because he was one arm tackle or kind of a tackle away from maybe breaking that big. And again, they're setting up that fly because that's that quick handoff right up to the fullback. And one of these days, that fly guy is going to get it one of these times on the play, and it's going to be a long end around. So they're setting it up. And that's what teams do. They're kind of feeling each other out, whether or not they script plays. They may not do that at the high school level, but they're feeling each other out to see what tendencies are.
Gendron and Trary back to return the kick. Fair catch, Cooper Gendron at the 27-yard line. First possession, the 25. This one, the 27 for the Panthers. Coming off a win over Sequoia last week, 38-13. A huge landmark win over Terra Nova, one of the gold standards of this league for many years. And maybe the Leland game was the one that put this program on the map, where they knew they would be good this year.
Well, they felt that was a big test, and they wanted to see if they could pass that test.
2:40 to play in the first. Andrade. Maybe a yard.
I mean, every game that, you know, was important, but I know they kind of mentioned like that Leland game. They felt that was really the one. But this is a, boy, big hit there.
Andrew Robinson leading the surge for the Gators. 2nd down and long. Cooper Gendron wide left. Avery working from the gun. Rolling left. Looks for his brother. What a catch. Across midfield. Makes one miss. Cut it against the grain. Still on his feet. Inside the 30. Inside the 20-yard line.
Is that only a play that brother to brother can make? You just know your brother is. You know you're going to throw it up and he's going to get it. I mean, that's just what it is. Like, I know we do this in the backyard, did this as kids. You just trust. There's a certain amount of trust that exists there.
52 yards.
Avery to Cooper. How many times did they do that as kids? I mean, that's just the thing. I know where my brother's at. I'm trusting him. Great catch. Nice run after catch.
To the 21-yard line. Back to the ground.
Urena, the ball
That's
carrier.
Elijah Urena. 14 carries, 79 yards coming into play tonight.
I'm not a big stat guy, but a couple stats that I really believe in. I do believe in the yak, the yards after catch. When you give an athlete a ball or somebody, what do they do after they make the catch? Obviously by catching it, but what do? Can you gain something beyond that? Great job by Cooper Jindro.
Look at his brother Avery, the trigger man for this offense. Second down. Avery wants to put it up, use his legs, keep the play alive, and gets rid of it.
Flag is down.
Third down, a flag comes in late.
Yeah, he was looking for Urena, but I wonder if they're going to say he was over the line of scrimmage, because it sure looked. I mean, tried to dip back over, but I bet you he just was a little bit over.
Waiting the signal of Barry O'Driscoll.
Up, they're picking it up.
Flag is waved off.
Maybe toyed with the idea of grounding.
Yep. Or like I said, he did a dipsy doodle over. I'm wondering if they thought maybe he didn't quite make it back over the line of scrimmage and would have been,
Panthers.
Third down, 7 yards to go. An offense that put up 56 against Los Altos, 46 Menlo, 42 against Terra Nova. The wing T that goes back to the days of Hilarios and John Gilmore. Scoreless here in the first. Jindro. Moving left, coming back right, pass incomplete. It's a very tough throw.
Boy, it was, but he had him. Yeah, it looked like he couldn't get enough on it, but he had his man right there. Throwing across your body is difficult, but there was that opening.
Looking for George Deleguns. Sets up fourth down for Burlingame.
Crowd's fired up tonight. Big game. They know it's a big game.
Looking for the second league title in school history.
Ball attempt, a 35-yard field goal.
Casey Kierman on for the field goal. Snap back, ball down. Kick, a line drive, no chance. May have been deflected.
Gators take over. First and
Still scoreless here in the first.
If you're Burlingame, you got to feel good. Think we can move the ball. We're showing we can move these ball, but we have not been able to punch it in. And again, that's a credit to the Sacred Heart defense, kind of stiffening up when they needed to.
Had the one big play, the 52-yarder to get them close to the red zone. And there's a look at Pete Laverado, former Canadian Football League defensive back, spent 10 years north of the border.
ball's at the Sacred Heart 20.
Got his chance to coach down in Hollister to begin his career. At that point, said he didn't know what he was doing. Finally figured it out when he got here and turned this program around.
Never had a losing record in his seasons at Sacred Heart. That's pretty impressive.
First down from the 20-yard line. Third crack at it for the Gators. Hardy. Right up the middle.
Hardy, the ball
That's Tommy Dryden making the stop. The team's leading tackler. 63 tackles coming into play tonight.
gain of 5. Second and 5.
Second down and 5. SHP 33-3 over the last 3 years. Second down. Looked like that was Ben Burkervin. Nope, that's Mahoney. Still no carries for Burkervin.
And we're looking for that. They, again, probably going to use him very judiciously on the offensive side of the ball, but he may get a carry or two tonight.
That's the end of the first period with the score.
In fact, Burkervin will come in when we come back. We'll take the break at the end of one. Burlingame at SHP, scoreless with a league title on the line. Fans here in Burlingame into it. The league championship is on the line. 0-0 at the end of one. Dave Lewis along with Marty Lenz. Anything that you've seen in the first quarter, any tendencies to jump on?
I feel like it looks like Sacred Heart is really trying to establish, and Coach Laverado, they're trying to figure out if they can run a little bit on the inside. They've shown it, but to credit to Burlingame is they've played again that really disciplined defense. So, but they've kind of close to a couple times to breaking it, for a pretty significant run or gain.
Laverado in year number 12. This is third down. And the first carry of the game. And loose off the bench, making a big-time impact, Ben Burkervin.
And we knew he was going to get a carry or two tonight. The reason they are probably, besides just making sure that he's up to speed offensively, because defense, he's such a great athlete, he can do it. But it's also getting your timing on offense. Well, here, his timing looks pretty good, and he's running pretty darn good. I mean, he's a medical marvel to some degree with that Achilles. I mean, most guys aren't playing at all this year, or very little. He has 3 games. He's made the comeback. I mean, that's a testament to doctors and to trainers and again, to Burke Irvin's work ethic as well.
Already tied with the team leading touchdowns with 5. And that was a 48-yard game right off the bench. Burke Irvin still in there. First down, SHP. Up the middle again. That's Hardy. J.R. Hardy. Made the move with Riley Tinsley, who was the starting tailback. The Terra Nova game moved him to the flyback, and that really opened up the offense for this team.
I think that's just an example of finding guys that maybe if there's a position that they're better suited for. And I mean, I like how Hardy runs. He runs tough. He's a smaller version of a Burke Irvin almost, the way he runs, and look at him.
Second down, Gators. And there's the flyback, Riley Tinsley. Turning the corner, trying to get to the edge. Has the first down.
So many options off that fly. I mean, whether you hand it to the first back through to the fly back, run some sort of pass option off that with the fly back coming out, running a wheel route. I mean, it's a really neat offense.
For the season, Tinsley, the team's leading rusher, almost 600 yards coming into play tonight.
Well, and you get that momentum going. I mean, that's the beauty of that. You just kind of get a little bit of a head of steam offensively and give you a chance by the time you hit contact, you may be a yard or 2 already into it. So you're a step ahead of your person defending you.
Gators have it at the 10. That's Tinsley in motion. Inside handoff, Hardy bangs into the teeth of that Burlingame defense.
You know, and outside of that one big run by Burke Irvin, Burlingame has played fairly solid. Again, disciplined defense. That's what they do. It's not spectacular, but sometimes simplicity and discipline is spectacular. And that's what Burlingame has done on defense all year.
Gave him a gain of 4, second down and 6 for SHP.
Wouldn't be surprised when we see Andrew Kennedy. We see him there in the shot if he is going to be making a play here.
Mahoney and Hardy are the backs. Tinsley in motion. That's Mahoney. Tries to bounce outside. Great pursuit. That's Entreri making the stop from the cornerback spot. Griffin, an outstanding running back, but no slouch when he plays D.
Well, just because he's an athlete. He's just an athlete. Has a good nose for the ball. Showed it there.
Third down and goal from the 4. Mahoney coming out for SHP. Burke Irvin back in there. In the backfield with Hardy. Ben Burke Irvin into the end zone for a touchdown, Gators.
Touchdown.
Just a force. He's just physically just a load. I mean, I know he's going to go to UW to play linebacker, but Chris Peterson, who's known for his offense from his days at Boise State and trying to establish in Washington, would say, man, we maybe give this guy a few carries on offense and see what he can do for us.
Wasn't used much as a back last year until they got to the playoffs and became a force.
I mean, he's just a talented young man. And he's just got that football body. I mean, look at that. Look at his legs, his arms. He's just got that football body and size.
A year ago, a sensational season, 13-2, 4-1 in the league. And a stunning upset over El Cerrito, a team they were heavy underdogs and ended up routing El Cerrito. Moved on to the state championship game. This is Riley Tinsley on for the point after. 16 for 21 on PATs on the year. And that one's good.
The score, Sacred Heart.
Gators 7. Panthers nothing here in the second period. And Ben Burke Irvin, 2 carries making a major impact.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 just, that one carry off of the right side was just huge. Almost was, besides just the carry that did it, maybe a confidence carry for him as well. Say, okay, now I'm into the game plan.